The Formula One world was rocked to its core when the news broke. Christian Horner, the man who built Red Bull Racing into a championship-winning empire, had been abruptly sacked. After 2 decades, 124 Grand Prix wins, and 8 driver titles under his leadership, his departure wasn't just shocking, it pointed to something much deeper. Something fractured within the walls of the most dominant F1 team of the past decade. And now, explosive new revelations are coming to light that could completely reshape how we view the chaos inside Red Bull. According to reports from German media, Red Bull's own special advisor, Helmut Marko, played a central role in Horner's exit. Not only was Marko present at the pivotal meeting that sealed Horner's fate, he allegedly helped engineer the entire move. And with Max Verstappen now rumored to be flirting with a shock transfer to Mercedes, some believe this dramatic shakeup may have been a desperate attempt to keep the team from falling apart entirely. If you're trying to make sense of this unraveling drama and want to know what's really going on behind closed doors at Red Bull Racing, now's the time to subscribe, because this might just be the most important Formula One story of the entire season. Let's break it down. Christian Horner's sudden departure has taken on a far darker and more complex shape than anyone initially imagined. What seemed like a surprise leadership change is now being revealed as a carefully premeditated power shift-down orchestrated in secrecy, with Helmut Marko at the center. According to German outlet Bild, Horner's firing wasn't decided impulsively. It was finalized during a closed-door meeting held on Monday, the 7th of July. Attending were Red Bull's head of sport Oliver Mintzlaff, company owners Chalerm Uvidya and Mark Mateschitz, and special advisor Helmut Marko. The very next day, Horner was summoned into a meeting with Marko and Mintzlaff. Just like that, his 20-year reign as CEO and team principal was over. But this wasn't just about what was happening on the racetrack. Behind the scenes, tensions had been brewing. Sources reveal that Marko had grown increasingly frustrated with Horner over the past 18 months. Things reached a boiling point in early 2024, when Horner was accused of inappropriate behavior by a female employee. Though he was cleared after an internal investigation, the damage was already done. The ordeal created a deep rift within the organization. Marko reportedly viewed Horner's conduct as a stain on the Red Bull brand. Meanwhile, Jos Verstappen Max's father publicly stated that Horner's leadership was tearing the team apart. Behind the scenes, Verstappen's camp had clearly lost faith in him. The mood in the paddock shifted. Even as Max went on to win his 4th consecutive championship in 2024, his relationship with Red Bull's top brass seemed strained. He smiled for the cameras, but insiders claimed that behind closed doors, he was already evaluating his options. And those options? They're real. Verstappen is under contract with Red Bull until 2028, but insiders confirm there are performance clauses in place. If the team is no longer competitive, Max could walk away as early as the end of 2025. And right now, Red Bull is far from competitive. The RB21 has become a one-man machine. In Verstappen's hands, it's still fast but highly unpredictable. For Sergio Perez, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda, it's practically undrivable. That inconsistency has taken a toll. Red Bull has slipped to 4th place in the Constructors' Championship now, trailing behind Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes. This sharp decline has also exposed deeper issues within the team structure. Since the death of Red Bull founder Dietrich Mateschitz, the team has seen an exodus of top-level talent. Adrian Newey, design genius behind Red Bull's dominant machine, has left. So has sporting director Jonathan Wheatley. Key engineers and strategists like Rob Marshall, Will Courtney, and Lee Stevenson have also exited. The result? A brain drain of massive proportions, one that even a driver of Verstappen's caliber can't patch up. Which brings us back to Christian Horner. Some insiders are now arguing that Horner was made a scapegoat, a last-ditch sacrifice to buy time, calm internal chaos, and persuade Verstappen to stay put. That theory is gaining momentum, especially after a candid interview from former F1 driver Gerhard Berger, who didn't mince his words. Gerhard Berger believes Christian Horner's firing wasn't about performance, it was about politics. In his view, Horner was removed as a strategic move to protect Max Verstappen. He even went further, stating that the relationship between the Verstappens and Horner had become too strained to continue. And in a particularly striking comment, Berger said, "If Horner was really surprised by this, that's a bad sign, because even as an outsider, you could see it coming." It paints a vivid picture of a team on the edge, struggling not only with technical issues, but also scrambling to retain the very star who made them unstoppable. While Max Verstappen remains tight-lipped in the media, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has made his intentions clear. Wolff has openly expressed his interest in bringing Max to Brackley, and with no confirmed drivers for the 2026 season, neither George Russell nor rising star Kimi Antonelli Mercedes has an open seat ready. Verstappen's camp is watching closely. Multiple insiders report that informal discussions have already occurred between Wolff and Verstappen's management team, quiet conversations, just in case that performance clause in Max's contract is activated. And Wolff, the tactician that he is waiting patiently. He knows Red Bull is vulnerable. He knows that losing Horner could be the destabilizing blow that finally convinces Max to jump ship. So now, the big question: who's steering Red Bull through this storm? That responsibility falls to Laurent Mekies, formerly of Ferrari and Racing Bulls. Though respected in the paddock, Mekies now faces the immense challenge of leading a fractured team that's lost Adrian Newey, lost Christian Horner, and may soon lose Max Verstappen as well. And it doesn't stop there. Even Helmut Marko, man many credit with orchestrating Horner's exodus, hinted that he may step down soon. And in a surprising move, he's even named a potential successor, Sebastian Vettel. Yes, that's Sebastian Vettel, the four-time world champion and Red Bull's golden boy from the early 2010s, now reportedly being considered for a senior leadership position. Whether he would serve as a symbolic figurehead or take on a true strategic role remains uncertain. But either way, it's a clear signal that Red Bull is scrambling to reinvent itself. But reinvention takes time, and time is the one thing Red Bull may no longer have. The remainder of the 2025 season will be absolutely critical. Every result, every on-track decision, every word from Max Verstappen will be under the microscope. If Red Bull can't pull themselves out of this spiral, and if Verstappen no longer feels confident in the project, Mercedes may finally land their white whale, and Red Bull, they could be left with nothing but fading memories of their former dominance. So now we ask, was Christian Horner's sacking a bold step toward rebuilding her, the fatal move that triggered Red Bull's downfall? Only time will tell. Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget, this saga is far from over. Subscribe for full breakdowns as even more secrets from inside Red Bull inevitably come to light.